So how does it really work? I mean, you have a social media tool out there. Okay, you go on Facebook, but then how does it integrate actually with your website and your blogs? And how does it all fit together? And this is really, I think, a very easy and simple way to understand it. So basically, you start out with something that I call a product and services hub, which would be your website. So there you typically would have all the products that you offer or your services with the pricing. Typically you can do a transaction there. And then you have something else which I call the information hub. So this is typically your blog where on a consistent basis you develop new fresh content that relates to your industry. So let's say in the example of a jewelry store, maybe on this blog you consistently talk about new designs or new materials that have come up in the industry and that are very beneficial, very green or something like that. So this is kind of the information hub. And then the third pillar here is the community hub. So this is really where social media is actually playing the key role, obviously, with all the different tools out there. This is where people hang out to be entertained and connect with people, chit-chat about whatever. And it's important to understand that the community hubs are mainly kind of a driver to get your potential customers or your customers into this flow. So let's say someone sees on Facebook, you posted on Facebook, let's say, an interesting article about photography. You're talking about the newest model that's out there, and you're kind of giving tips and tricks how someone can use this new digital camera. So you post that, let's say, on Facebook, and then someone sees it on Facebook, clicks on it, is redirected to your blog, reads the article, and then says, hey, that's really interesting, maybe I want to take a seminar with you or whatever you offer. And then they go to your website. It could be integrated, but that's a logical step. They go basically to where the services and products are offered and potentially buy it. This might not always happen in a one swoop thing, right? But it's more like, this consistent circle that happens. Oh, interesting information, interesting advice. Oh, I'm going to check it out, and kind of like this, or it can just be on those platforms. But you always top on mind for photography, because they know you have the expertise. You have shown it in your blog and in the information that you have posted. So if this is kind of the three pillars of your online presence, then what you hear oftentimes is a lot of those buzzwords that I've added here, that I've added down there. So these are basically traffic boosters for all those three different pillars, like the promotional tactics. How do I get people onto my, onto Facebook? How do I get people onto my blog besides this consistent flow of information? There are other ways of doing that. And these are kind of more like those one blurbs. Like, let's say you have an email campaign, you have a specific promotion, and you have 1,000 emails in your database. So you're going to send out an email saying, hey, check out this current promotion that I have, and go to my website. So you would redirect them to there. Or you could say, hey, I have this ebook. It's it's a free ebook. You can download it from my blog, and you would redirect them to here. So this is really more very promotional tactics, and so it's just for people that don't know that, SEO is search engine optimization. Basically, for each of those three different pillars, you can find a way of making Google find your web presence better. This also counts for Facebook, by the way. I'll show it to you later, because Facebook's pages are actually searchable by Google. So if someone types in your name in the Google search bar, they might actually, as a result, your Facebook page might actually pop up. Then social advertising, which would be a lot actually on Facebook. I'll show it to you. I show that to you also in a second. Pay-per-click advertising is basically, when you have on Google, when you type a keyword in there, and then you have on the top and on the side, you have what's called sponsored results. So this is basically where you pay to be shown in a search result. This is what pay-per-click is. Then the link baiting is, getting people to link to your site, which would also increase actually your importance in Google's eyes. So this is also an important thing. And then contests, and I'll talk about that also a little bit later, which is especially applicable for social media, how you can structure customer contests and things like that. So you really have to have a marketing plan and see how your social media activities, be it on Facebook or on other platforms, how it fits into your overall marketing plan. And just to kind of quickly go over that, I mean, these are really all the key elements that you need to have in a marketing plan, and this is all the work that you need to have done up front before doing the social media thing. So you really got to understand who's your customer from a demographic point of view, as well as their purchasing behavior, things like that. And then you also need to do a competitor analysis, not only in terms of understanding where they're located, what's their size, what's their product offering, but also in terms of what do they do online? How do they present themselves in the social media sphere? Things like that. And then the product and services analysis, there you really have to, before you go online and kind of create this community on Facebook or anywhere else, really understand what you're selling. So, oftentimes people say, I sell this product or this service, but, let's say in a financial services example, let's say an accountant, typically an accountant would say, hey, I sell accounting services. I can do your taxes for you or your bookkeeping or whatnot. But in the end, what you're really selling is peace of mind. I don't have to worry about all the stuff. It's taken care of and by someone that knows what he's talking about. And this transition to a more of an emotional thing that you're selling is so much more important in social media, because social media is all about more like the intangible emotional stuff oftentimes. You're connecting with your friends, you're chit-chatting about your personal life. So it's even more important in this area that you do this, that you think about deeply what is it that you're really selling. And then messaging is then all about, okay, how do I actually bring it across? What's my tone of voice? Am I more serious? Is it more fun voice? And then being really consistent across all your marketing material, actually, not only online, but also how you talk to them on the phone, the traditional marketing that you might do in terms of posting ads in newspapers and stuff like that. And then only at that point are you thinking about all the different marketing tactics, not only social media, but everything else that you might be doing, and really figuring out how to integrate it. So the wall is basically like a what's that word? Like a bulletin board, like a pin board. So it's like I have certain words, I don't know exactly how to translate them. So imagine in your kitchen you have a board in your kitchen, and then on that kitchen board you basically put a post-it saying, "Hey honey, get some milk," right? And then you come back and then you post a post-it underneath it saying, your husband comes back and posts a note underneath it saying, "Yes honey, I got some milk," and then you start, "But hey, can you do X, Y, Z?" And then you put another post-it and another post-it. So basically, your wall is like your online bulletin board, where people come and put post-its on, and you can reply to them. You can add additional post-its. So that's really all it is, just kind of in this online setting. And the way you kind of post a post-it on there is basically by using this bar here. What's on your mind? That's called the status bar. So here you can, I can say, hosting workshop in San Francisco, and I can share it, which means I would post it on my bulletin board. Okay. In addition, I could add photos, I could add a video, links. They're all like a variety of different multimedia things that I can add on there as well. Okay. And I can go, okay, share. And what you see is next to my name, it has updated. Basically, the status bar here is will always show, my latest post will always show next to my name.